Let's learn English with Jawad. As we all know, we already had introduction to simple present tense. We already finished present continuous tense, and today we're going to have our lesson 7, which is past simple or simple past tense. So this tense is a form of verb, which is the second form of a verb that we use to talk about an activity or an action that we completed in the past at a particular time. So simple tense, simple past is a tense. We use this tense to talk about an action or activity which already happened in the past at a particular time or a specific time, both same. Why we use specific time? If something we think is important to be mentioned along with timing, then we use the time. So let's say if the time that we want to use in our simple past sentence or question is not important, we don't use it. We only use specific time or particular time if that activity was deemed or is deemed critical to be finished or to have finished at that particular time, then we use the timing. Otherwise, we don't need to use the time. So we mentioned the time if the action was important to be finished at that time, at that particular time. Okay? So otherwise we may not use the time if deemed less important. So we know that we have two types of verbs in this structure to be used. One is called regular and one is called irregular. Now we have to find regular and irregular. If you remember, we spoke about nouns. Nouns that take nouns that take S or ES at the end to make it plural, those are regulars. And nouns that do not take S or ES or do not end with ES or S, they are irregular nouns. I'll just remind you guys with an example. For example, if we say shoe, SHOE, shoe is one shoe, but if we talk about more than one shoe, then we say shoes. So this is regular. But if we say man, we will say Ali is a good man. So if we say man, it's one person. But if we say two people, let's say we say Carlos and Ali are good men. So instead of MAN, we say MEN, man. So this is a regular form of our noun. So exactly we have the same formula here. Those nouns that we put, those verbs that we have here, if they're regular verbs, when we use them in simple past or past simple, we use D or ED at the very end of those verbs to talk about simple past activity. But if those verbs are not regular and they're irregular, they're not going to take D or ED, but instead we will use their changed form of the verb. So let's go ahead and read it. This is much better. So for irregular base verbs, we can't, okay, I think I have to do it here. So for regular base verbs, we add D or ED at the end of our verbs. Okay? Now, they end with D or ED. So regular verbs, when we are using them in our or when we use them in our simple past tense structure, then we use their past tense with D or ED. Example, finish. Finish is the regular form of finish. This is a base form of verb. But when we use them, when we use this verb in our simple past structure, then we use ed at the very end to make it a simple past regular form. Witness, witnessed. Work, worked. Structure, structured. Note, noted. construct, constructed, book, booked, laugh, laughed, walk, walked, etc. So this was our regular structure of our base verbs that we use in our simple past sentences or statements or questions. The next one is called irregular, okay? For irregular base verbs, we can't add D or ED. However, instead, we use the change form of our irregular verbs. So if it's, okay, irregular verb, because we have here form, if it's form, then we should use this, okay? Example, speak. What's the second form of speak? Spoke. What's next example? Go. What's the past form of go? Went. Know, knew. What's the past form of see? Saw. Teach, thought. Think, thought. So examples in sentences. Anne visited her village last month. So Anne is a singular person. We talk about her. It's a she. Visited is verb. Visit. Visit is regular form of our verb, but when we use them in simple past tense, then we have to add ed because it's a regular verb. So Anne visited her village last month. You see, last month is important because we want to know when she went to her village. Okay. Number 2, Liz and Ebrar finished renovation last week. So Ebrar and Liz finished. Finish is the base form. Finished is the second form of verb that we constructed by using ed. Okay. I knew you won't come last night. Knew is the second form of no. So this is irregular because when we changed from no to knew, we didn't put d or ed. Instead, we changed some letters inside. So the structure was changed. They spoke to their son last year. Who? They. Spoke is the second form of speak to their son last year. So this last year is important. If it's not important, we say they already spoke to their son. So it's not important. But if the time is important, then we use here last night /week /year / let's say Thursday. Okay. We thought you will rent a car last Friday. So thought is the second form of think. So this is a structure. This is a formula. I just made it just to explain it to you guys. So subject is always a person. Sometimes it could be think. Subject is the doer of action. Verb is action. Place or thing is the object. And this is the time. So say I renovated the bathroom last month. So I is our subject. Renovated is our verb. The bathroom is the thing or the place that received our action, which was renovation. So it could be place, thing, or object. And last month is our time frame. So that's why we use the second form of the verb. Okay. I'll just give you guys an example here. Okay. So verb has 3 forms. Okay. Base must, for example, go is the base. Okay. Second form is went. That's the second form. And then gone is the last form. So it has 3 forms of verb. Okay. So here in the simple past and this, we always use the second form of our verbs. Okay, so just keep in mind. So this is the example I gave you guys. Okay, so just to give you guys, this is the first form. Okay, this is the form that we use in our present tense. But if our singular subject is in our sentence, then we have to use es, which is goes. Went is the second form, something in the past, and gone is past participle. We'll touch base on this hopefully in the near future. Okay, so this is the simple past or present, past simple tense we spoke about. Now, if we want to make a question, then how we do it when we make question, I have written some notes here. How do we make simple past tense questions? Okay, so use did for all subjects at the beginning of the sentence or sentences, whichever, before the subject, okay, plus verb, first form, plus object, plus time, plus question mark. Okay, let's do it this. Okay, so let's say sentence, we use subject. Okay, so let's say, okay, let me just do this way. Okay, so okay, let me just do, so this is the formula basically. So this is our formula, or this is our structure, or this is our formation. Okay, so subject, let's do this way. Let's do this way. Subject is I. Verb, we have to use, we have to use before subject, we have to use did. Okay, so let's say, did I, let's say verb, finish. Okay, object, renovation is noun. Renovation, or did I finish renovating or renovation of what? Let's see here, the example says here, I renovated the bathroom last month. Did I, here we go, did I renovate, so what's the place here? The place is the bathroom, so this is the place. Did I renovate the bathroom? And what's our time here? Time is last month, so we can say last month, and then what we put at the very end? Question mark. Okay, so this is our sentence question. If you want to make a simple past question, we have to use the first form of the verb. You see here we we say renovated, but here we use renovate. Why? Because we have used it at the beginning. We'll say another example. Let's say they already spoke. This is a little long. Okay, let me just find another example for you guys. They already spoke to their son last night. So, well, let's do this. Did they already, here we have spoke, that's the second form of our verb. Here we have to use speak. Did they already speak to their son last, let's say, last night? So the question mark here. So this is the question for this one. They already spoke to their son last night, or last, whatever the time time is there. So we just use this is the second form of the verb, and we have a full stop or stop sign, a period here. So when we make a question, we put did in front of our subject. You see here? Here, the sentence, our sentence begins with the word they, but here we use did before they, and instead of spoke here, we use speak here because we use did. Whenever you use did, you have to use the first form of the verb, but because it's a question. But if it's a statement, then you use the second form of our verb. We don't use did. And the answer is yes, they. Okay, let me just see. Yes, they did, or no, they did not or didn't. That's it. So this was a short introduction of distance. I'll further explain this in our next class, but so far this is our third tense that we are talking about, and this is a little complicated because it's close to past perfect, but as we go ahead we will find out more about the structure, about the use. Please practice when you have time. Find some notes, some newspaper articles. Nowadays everything is available online. Just go there and search it. If you like it, if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to say something, just go in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and share this, because if we share, we can reach out to more people and we can share our knowledge. Thank you very much and take care, guys. Bye.